Welcome to Module 2, Introduction to BABOK V3. In this module, we'll explore the Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, or BABOK, which forms the foundation of the CBAP certification and professional business analysis practice. You'll discover how BABOK is structured, what its main components are, and how these concepts come together to guide effective business analysis in any organization. Think of this as your blueprint for understanding how business analysis is standardized, structured, and executed globally. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to explain the structure of the BABOK Guide, understanding its organization and framework, identify its core components, including knowledge areas, tasks, inputs, outputs, and techniques. Understand the BABOK model, the conceptual foundation that shapes analytical thinking in business analysis. Recognize interconnections, how knowledge areas, tasks, and techniques work together to deliver measurable value. Together, these objectives will help you build a clear, exam-ready understanding of how BABOK V3 defines and organizes business analysis work. The Business Analysis Body of Knowledge, or BABOK, is the globally recognized standard for business analysis practices. Published by the International Institute of Business Analysis, IIBA, it defines the framework, terminology, and techniques that professional business analysts use worldwide. BABOK V3 provides a comprehensive structure for defining the tasks, competencies, and principles that drive effective analysis. It's not just a guide for certification, it's the universal language of business analysis. It forms the foundation for CBAP and other IIBA certifications, ensuring that business analysts across industries share a consistent understanding of what good analysis looks like in practice. The BABOK Guide is carefully organized into 6 key components that together define the complete scope of business analysis work. Let's review each one. Knowledge areas, KAs, misunderstandings. These are the major domains of business analysis, groups of related tasks and activities. Tasks, the specific actions business analysts perform to deliver results and value. Inputs and outputs, the materials or information required to begin a task, and the deliverables produced once the task is complete. Techniques, tools, methods, or practices that help analysts perform tasks effectively. Over 50 of them are defined in BABOK. Underlying competencies, personal skills, behaviors, and knowledge that enable successful performance, such as communication, problem-solving, and business acumen. Perspectives, adaptations of business analysis practices for specific contexts, like agile, IT, or business process management. Together, these components form the complete architecture of business analysis, from what analysts do, to how they do it, and the skills required for success. The BABOK Red Guide defines 6 knowledge areas, KAs, that represent the entire spectrum of business analysis work. These are business analysis, planning and monitoring, elicitation and collaboration, requirements, lifecycle management, strategy analysis, requirements analysis and design, definition, solution evaluation. Each knowledge area contains multiple tasks, describing what analysts do to deliver business value. Together, these KAs form a continuous process, from understanding strategic needs to evaluating how solutions perform in the real world. Tasks are the building blocks of business analysis work. Each task describes a distinct activity that produces value and drives the initiative forward. Inputs are the information or deliverables needed to start a task, often derived from outputs of other tasks or knowledge areas. Outputs are the results or deliverables produced upon completion, and these frequently serve as inputs for subsequent tasks, creating an interconnected workflow. For example, an input might be a current state description. The task could be defined change strategy. The output becomes a change strategy document. Key insight: each task can have multiple inputs and outputs, often linking across knowledge areas. This creates a dynamic, iterative flow that mirrors real-world business analysis. Techniques are structured methods used to complete tasks effectively. The BABOK documents over 50 techniques, giving analysts a toolkit to approach different types of problems and contexts. Some key examples include brainstorming, generating ideas collaboratively; root cause analysis, identifying underlying causes of issues; decision modeling, structuring complex decision-making processes; SWOT analysis, evaluating strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats; prototyping, building visual or functional representations of potential solutions; data flow diagrams, mapping how information moves through a system. Remember, multiple techniques can apply to a single task, and one technique may serve multiple knowledge areas. Flexibility in technique selection is key for both exam and real-world success. Underlying competencies define the personal qualities and professional capabilities that make business analysts effective. These competencies go beyond process. They're about how you think and behave as a professional. They include analytical thinking and problem solving, structuring complex problems and deriving insights; behavioral characteristics, integrity, ethics, and accountability; business knowledge, understanding industries, operations, and organizational strategy; communication skills, delivering clear, concise information across audiences; interaction skills, managing collaboration, negotiation, and stakeholder engagement; tools and technology, using software and platforms that support analysis work. These are tested indirectly in the CBAP exam, through scenario-based questions assessing your reasoning and judgment. Perspectives tailor business analysis practices to fit specific environments and organizational contexts. There are 5 perspectives outlined in BABOK V3, Agile, emphasizing iterative, adaptive delivery of value; business intelligence, focusing on data-driven insights and analytics; information technology, centering on technical solution development; business architecture, aligning strategy, structure, and capability at the enterprise level; business process management, enhancing efficiency through process optimization and continuous improvement. Each perspective modifies how tasks, techniques, and tools are applied, ensuring that business analysis aligns with organizational goals and operating models. Let's take a closer look at each of the 6 knowledge areas. Business analysis planning and monitoring defines how to plan BA activities, manage stakeholders, and monitor performance. Elicitation and collaboration focuses on gathering, validating, and managing stakeholder information effectively. Requirements lifecycle management maintains traceability and integrity of requirements throughout the project lifecycle. Strategy analysis assesses the current state, defines the future state, and evaluates potential strategies for achieving business goals. Requirements analysis and design definitions, elaborates and verifies requirements, and designs to ensure stakeholder needs are met. Solution evaluation measures solution performance and identifies opportunities for optimization and improvement. Together, these areas define the end-to-end business analysis lifecycle, from strategy to solution validation. The BACCM, or Business Analysis Core Concept Model, represents 6 universal concepts that underpin all business analysis work. They are change, moving from a current to a future state; need, the problem or opportunity that drives change; solution, the means of satisfying one or more needs; stakeholder, anyone affected by or influencing the change; value, the benefit delivered through the solution; context, the environment or conditions surrounding the change. These 6 concepts are interconnected. Every decision, task, or analysis must consider them together. Remember, the BACCM applies across all knowledge areas and tasks. It's the conceptual lens through which all business analysis should be viewed. Business analysis is inherently iterative and interconnected. Outputs from one knowledge area often become inputs for another, creating a workflow that evolves as insights emerge. For example, planning leads to elicitation, which feeds into requirements management, then informs analysis and design, and concludes with solution evaluation. A common relationship you'll see is strategy analysis defines the future state, which then becomes an input for requirements analysis and design definition, guiding the detailed design of the solution. Understanding these dependencies is crucial for both effective practice and exam performance. The task-technique matrix in BABOK 3 maps each task to the techniques most effective for performing it. This helps analysts select the right approach for the right situation. Let's review a few examples. Define future state. Techniques include SWOT analysis, business capability analysis, and benchmarking. Elicit requirements. Techniques include interviews, workshops, observation, and document analysis. Verify requirements. Techniques include acceptance criteria, reviews, and walkthroughs. Exam tip. CBAP questions often test whether you know which technique supports which task. Focus on understanding not just the names, but the rationale behind choosing each one. Let's recap the key points from this module. Comprehensive framework. BABOK V3 defines what analysts do, how they do it, and the competencies required for success. 6+6 foundation. 6 knowledge areas combined with 6 BACM concepts form the core of both the BABOK framework and the CBAP exam. Practical application. Tasks, techniques, and competencies bring theory into real-world practice, the heart of effective analysis. Interconnections matter. Knowledge areas are not isolated, they're linked. Understanding these relationships is key for exam mastery and professional application. You've now built a solid foundation in the structure, components, and logic of BABOK V3. In the next module, we'll explore the first knowledge area, business analysis, planning, and monitoring, where you'll learn how to plan, manage, and control business analysis activities for project success. Congratulations! You've completed Module 2 of your CBAP journey.